Milo at your service.
Hello?
What?
Be quick.
What? What? I got enough things on my mind, stranger, without dealing with the inquiries of a busybody. The gnomes call this a place of enlightenment, but it comes at the cost of sympathy for wretches like us. A dark and dingy place. Don't know how, but the gnomes managed to take one of these grand buildings and turn it into an eyesore. Not much left to claw out of the dirt and deter, so I came here with my husband Esclad to try and make a living. Either that or starve. My damn fool of a husband. Thought the gnomes wouldn't punish a man who was desperate from hunger, but he was wrong. Yes, off with you.
Need something?
Glad you decided to show. Can't say I wasn't antsy with all these squirrel-headed gnomes staring me down crosswise. But let's be quick-like about this. Before you go into the vault, I've got to run you down on what's needed. Grim learned that the gnomes enchanted the missives with a spell that lets them know its location at all times. Trilgaren came up with a solution. The Shroud of Omission. Cover the book in this shroud and the gnomes will forget it exists. Now, are you ready? This is a one-way trip. Once you're in, you'll have to find your own way out. Some old book. Don't look at me for what's in it. The value that those cursed scullions place in the missives is what concerns Grim and I. I don't know if Trilgaren made the bloody thing or stole it, but she said it's one of a kind. Place an object under the shroud and all the world forgets it existed. Seems useless, eh? But in the right moment, it's a damned waggish bedlam. Through this floor grate here. You'll have to do what you can to keep your bearings. It's a maze down there. And be careful. They might be pint pots, but these gnomes have become vicious if they get wise to you. Right, you better go. Be quick about it. I'll distract them. Let's do this.
What?
You wish to speak? Blessings to you.
surrender, now!
Hello there.
You wish to speak?
Any luck out there?
Hello. What? Yes?
What's needed? Reddelmain is the one that runs the quarters. Sometimes he seems to have a lot of money, but I know he's worked hard to be there.
Welcome, stranger. There are always prayers to Mitharu, but few answerers, save those from Reddelmain. Have you come to help? It is one of sorts. It is a board of petitions made by those of the Hospitalis quarters. I keep it for the good of this place. The gnomes do not keep the faith of Mitharu. That much is enough for me. Mitharu is the great order of the world, who grants purpose and structure to all life. Mitharu and Reddelmain guide my work. Reddelmain has much, but he understands that he cannot enact the change that could help us without jeopardizing all of our safety. Be pious.
You want something? All I've got to my name's my father's trousers and a bad hangover. So piss off. Just about the only place a man can get work anymore now that Apatir is dried up. Used to be good work over there. Now it's plain dangerous. Old friends will gut you for a piece of tin. Used to do a tour or two as an archer with some mercenaries. They turned to banditry and I just turned to ale. Ain't the sandstone villa from what I hear. But I've slept in worse places, I can promise you that. Ain't good at much, but I don't need to be noticed if I ain't looking to be. For a bit of coin, I can teach anyone to be the same. Yeah.
What now? Yeah? Plenty else I need to worry about now? What are you needing? There's enough to this city left to be built that I wonder if it will ever be finished. But if it does, it will stand for years. Just another laborer trying to scrape a living for themselves in this damn city. Plenty of work to do. Gnomes are strange folk. Ain't no homes in these buildings. They work where they sleep where they work. Makes no sense to me. Back to work. What now?
Aye? Yeah? We've no clean mugs and no clean beds. There's no tavern business running today. Nice to have a peaceful place in this desert. Got bandits raising hell in Apatir, Jotun in Menethir, and just great stretches of nothing in the Hollowlands. Half of the poor folks in this place can't wipe their own asses after a day of work. My swill's the only thing that keeps them smiling half the time. The rat's den of Odessa, if ever there were one. Few joys we outsiders can afford, so I keep the swill cheap as I can. Good.
Many welcomes.
Come now. Grim needs you.
It is good to see you, though we have traveled far from my woods. You have recovered Grim's book? Then the Shroud of Omission was of use. I am joyed. I've come to lend what aid to Grim's fight that I can. I feel a duty to see him safely to the end of this. I do not know the value of the book itself, only that Grim values it for what it represents. Betrayal. I admit, I am not well acquainted to this human, and the phrases he employs are strange to me. Gorebellies? What are they? Still, he engenders trust and respect from Grim. That is enough for me. It is a piece that I was to steal when I came to the Travelers. A rare cloth, and not one easily replaced. I am far from its woods, and I miss it. I hope they are well outside of my presence. You have lived enough of our ways to understand, perhaps. The Hierophant is the ruler of the Travelers, as you know. Where is the freedom in acquiescing to another's will? We profit from the Hierophant's wisdom, but pay for it in service. It is a high cost. May the road rise to meet you.
Glad to see you made it out in one piece, book and all. Knew the gnomes couldn't keep you back. Now that you're here, Grim can finally clue us into this plan of his. Egg-eating, swill-sucking, take-it-in-the-eye for a side, twig-wrenching traitor, stew-brained wretch. Send me to die, will he? He'll get his. I swear it. They say this place is the bright center of knowledge, but there's a coldness beneath these floors, like something hidden. Been a bit since we crossed paths, hasn't it? Well, after I got free of that curse, I joined up with Grimm's crew. Ain't been some lily liver after what happened at Rithen. I'm stronger now, faster. Better thief than I ever could have been under the Hierophant. I don't know if Krilgarin made the bloody thing or stole it, but she said it's one of a kind. Place an object under the shroud and all the world forgets it existed. Seems useless, eh? But in the right moment, it's a damned waggish bedlam. Lot of followers with their heads in the clouds. They're not seeing things because they're too busy kissing the Hierophant's dung-covered boots. I'll show them. Let's do this.
The missives of Sable. I'd like to see what these pages hold. But that needs to wait. Keep that shroud on it. The time has come. While you did this, I finally learned who the Hierophant is. Argene of Sun Camp. We're taking her down, Dove. All of us. One last plan, one last job. The biggest we'll ever pull. I know now. I've had my suspicions, and the last one has been put into place. The Hierophant is Argene of Sun Camp. I've told Argene that I know her secret, and now she's asked to meet me in the ruins beneath Sun Camp. While we're there, you're going to plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will have her in chains, like she would have done to me. Too easy for one. Even if this started with a need for vengeance, the plan's grown bigger than that. Argene's leveraged her powers to become nearly a goddess for the Travelers. We need to show them all the truth. When word spreads of the Hierophant's arrest, they'll know for certain that their faith was misplaced. The meeting with Argene's a front. While I keep her occupied, you, Krilgarin and Phasma will be able to move unrestricted. Where we're going is the Hierophant's lair. It's likely got some enchanted defenses. Krilgarin will be there to help with those. Meanwhile, Phasma will lead the gnomes to the ruins. You plant the missives on Argene, and the gnomes will take her away while the world watches. I'm the bait. I told Argene that I would expose her identity to the Travelers, so she would ask to hold court with me. With luck, I'll have her gaze long enough to let you plant the missives of Sable on her. Good. To keep the element of surprise, you'll be using a secret entrance to the ruins. It's one of the graves in Sun Camp. Once you're in, meet with Krilgarin. Now, we've got to move. Do your part, and hopefully we'll see the end of this job. In an Arathi ruin beneath Sun Camp. I suppose the place is the Hierophant's retreat. I discovered it while you were in the... I made you a secret entrance. One of the graves in Sun Camp will drop you right into the ruins. See you there. It seems that the Hierophant made themselves a little hideaway beneath Sun Camp. It's a monument to her abuses, her power. We'll topple that place as well as her.
Always happy to see a new face. Been some time since we've had a new arrival. Odessa is different from Rathir. Everything about this city is planned, all its details already known. Rathir was built so haphazardly it keeps surprising. Most don't want to live here, but we Wiles have been refugees since the Tuatha first attacked. We're just happy to stop running. I know how to make a door open when it doesn't want to, if that's what you're asking. Pretty useful in a city with a few secrets. I came to Odessa with my brother Harrod and my sister Gwenfir. We were only children when we had to flee the fires of war, but here we are. Wretched curs, all of them. If it weren't for my siblings, I'd be fighting them even now. So long. Yeah?
Yes. Haven't seen you around. New to the quarter? Been sick so long I haven't seen anyone new in a... I'm just happy that for once in our lives, Ara and I no longer have to keep running. There's a place for us to wait, to rest, to recoup. Just another refugee of this horrible war. Ara and I were the only ones from my village that got out safely. Lost everything in that war. Lost our parents, our farm. All I have left is my sister Ara, and I'm just a burden on her now. We had to start a new life for ourselves here, but soon after we arrived, I got sick, and Ara had to support me. Ah, very well.
Hello? The guest of Sandstone Villa, I presume. These gnomes do like to believe that everyone ignores their whispers. What's needed? And I thought only the Fae were capable of taming Datia's wilds. Seems the gnomes are adamant about raising the city here. These are where we labourers may keep after ourselves when not working. Part home, part camp, part poorhouse. I've been a lot of things in my life. Farmer, warrior, scholar. I've done things for pay that I'm not proud of. I suppose this life is my penance. Good day.
Yes?
Yes?
Bloody chests.
Excuse me.
What?
Intruder! Guards! Intruder! Yes? And who are you?
You there! Halt! Don't let me catch you making trouble again.
Yes?
What?
Life ain't bad, working the scaffold. Near inspiring what the gnomes are constructing here. Right.
Got the forge hot, stranger. If you need repair work for armor or weapons, I'm your man. Aye? And I suppose you're here to preach the virtues of helping my lazy neighbours. More like buzzards. I've been there before. I know what life is like in the gutters. I'll pay my part, aye. But it's you that's more deserving, I think. Here's some coin. I came here with nothing, but managed to build myself a nice slice of life. The gnomes even invest some money here. Was one of the wretches working for Motus Mining in Apatir. Got out before the sickness gods rest them, but I've been here for years now. Aye, a vile thing in Apatir. Spread like a cold, killed like a plague. I can provide you with some smithing if you need. Repairs or salvaging, whatever's at hand. All right then.
Good day.
What?
Huh? Ah. You are the outsider in Sandstone Villa, yes? Well, I welcome you to our fair city. I come here to resupply between bouts of prospecting. The Arcadium and markets have all you need for scouring the wastes. I'm an assayer first class of the Office of the Grand Bursar. My role is to find new mineral deposits for Motus Mining and the laboratories. If you've traveled around the tier at all, you'll have run into Motus Mining. They'll civilize this frontier yet. Farewell.
Care to browse? I can promise you'll always find the goods you need at Sembles. Care to browse? Share them with who? With... Oh, I see. It's not enough that I scrape out something for myself. You can't succeed in this city without someone coming to collect. You mean it, don't you? You actually care about them. Fine, I'll give my part. And thanks for your compassion. Weren't raised here, but it's home well enough. But the only place in Detir that doesn't feel like the wind will blow it away. Came here with my father more than a few years back. Poor Dad died a few years ago, and I just took up the business when he did. Been here since. Don't rightly got one type of stock here. I tend to sell all manner of things you might need while roaming the wastes. Please, come by again. Care to browse?
Damn it all, Esclad. Why'd the fool have to get himself locked up? Oh, yes, off with you. Greetings.
Welcome. Welcome to Seller's Emporium Alchemical. Gnomes seem skittish when you walk in, but I reckon it's a peculiarity of them. I knew better than to think my prosperity would go unnoticed. It seems all my success helps others instead of myself. Generosity is not something seen that often here. If not in my neighbors, I might place my trust in you. I'll donate to the poor, and why not to you as well? It's a nice enough place if the gnomes take a shine to what you can do. I can make potions like their greatest, so I get to do trade in the Arcadium. I came to Edessa a few years back. Used to live up in Galette, in the Red Marches. A shame about what happened there, if what I hear is true. I've wandered to Tyr nearly all my life. There's a trove of reagents that can save your life if you know how to use them. Lunatic cultists took over and ruined the town. Someone put a stop to them, thankfully. Yes, of course. Always thinking of the downtrodden. I guess I could lift the charity tax. I hope it returns to the peaceful haven I knew it to be, now that you've done such a good turn. I'll be here.
Yes?
Ah, the guest of Sandstone Villa. If you've a head for books, then please peruse my wares. When I was younger, I used to be a scrivener in the Domus Politica. But like so many, my eyesight began fading, so I stopped writing books and began selling. I carry books and tomes of all shapes and sizes, plus another few odds and ends for anyone curious. We carry a wide assortment of reading materials. We've historical texts such as We also carry texts and manuscripts such as Metallurgy and Method, and even the more whimsical children's literature of Phineas Calidus. Though many here concern themselves with study in the academics, we also have fine craftsmen and artisans in the walls. Much of my stock is their work. Come again.
Yes?
Gems for sale. Ah, and so our guest from the villa has come to my shop. We have some of the brightest minds and best intentions you can find in the Feylands. It is lucky for all that we settle here. I make my living as a gem crafter. I have a small stock of my own, but I can also perform sage crafting services, if needed. I used to make gems for use in a number of the Basilica's experiments. Why, just recently, I crafted a number of items to be sent to Alistar Tower. Oh, nothing special, just a regular shipment of goods. Nothing out of the ordinary, anyway. You'll be back.
Yes? Blessings to you.
Yes?
So the scriptures of Mitharu have been handed to us. I too have been asked by Reddle to hand these words to the denizens of all that can help. Indeed, Mitharu smiles on a few, and it is their responsibility to share such providence. Your servant, though the gnomes are capable of greatness, Mitharu does not smile on those that take from the meek. You have restored them. Be pious.
Salutations. Yes?
Well, Mortis Mining didn't hire me to run away. I stood my ground best as I could.
What? What?
take any longer getting out and your ass will be skinned alive. Look, whatever you want, it's yours. Just get me out of here.
You have a death wish? Keep walking.
What?
What the hell are you doing here? If you're going to stand out there and gape at me, you're going to get us both in trouble. Really? I've been in here so long, I thought they would have all forgotten about this. This means a lot to me. Thanks, mate. Bet it's a lovely city to be in for a gnome. For outsiders, it's a place of burden. They make it uncomfortable, so we might leave. I only stole a loaf of bread. For that, I'm sorry. But I've been in here for weeks. The gnomes like to think their city shouldn't need jails, but they'll use any excuse to throw one of us quarterlings in here. Just another Burke trying to scratch a living in this desert sand. But it's easier to survive out there than in this blasted city. Half-men bastards. They'll look for any reason to throw one of us outsides into this brig. They're trying to intimidate us. Get going.
You take any longer getting out and your arse will be skinned alive.
You have a death wish? Keep walking.
You there! Halt! Don't let me catch you making trouble again. You're not going anywhere! What? Yes? Yes? Yes?
You.